What's up, guys? Welcome back to the 19th episode of the Coughy Show. My name is Mike, and I got Eric with me today.
Good morning, y'all.
Eric's going to run the show today, so I'm going to let him take over now.
So if it's terrible, we blame Mike. All right. To start, the biggest thing for the upcoming year, we got 2 weeks left, so probably the beginning of 2020, is that we'll actually have coffee that people can buy, which is a long time coming, being that it's the coffee shop. So I'd look out for that in the next couple weeks. We don't actually have a for sure date because ordering the machine is going to be part of the problem and actually learning it all, but it's coming. The other thing was Puff Bars are back in stock. We ordered a ton of them, so hopefully they don't run out anytime soon. And then there's also like 5 new flavors that we got this time. So those are here. To start this week, we're going to go into an article, again, marijuana movement. They always pump out some quality. Congress attaches marijuana, hemp, and CBD provisions to federal spending bill. So looking at this one, it was omitted from the fiscal year 2020 spending legislation, but following the merger of the chamber, I can't even talk. Hold on, I lost my place. Where was I at? 1 second, I accidentally exited out of it.
Go ahead.
Okay,
Go ahead.
The agreement recommends that it's no less than $1 million for this research and directs the AHRQ to make center-based grants. Such research should lead to clinical trials in geographic regions which are among the hardest hit by the opioid crisis.
Yep. And then one provision directs the National Institute of Drug Abuse, NIDA, to provide a brief report on the barriers of research that result from the classification of drugs and compounds as Schedule I substances under federal law within 120 days. So people are starting to hold these government organizations accountable. Like we spoke about before, they cry that there's not enough research, but nobody can do the research because these companies block it.
Yeah. They also set aside $16.5 million in funding to support the implementation of domestic hemp program. That was under the 2018 Farm Bill, and that's what legalized the crop and its derivatives, obviously. The funding will also help to ensure farmers will be able to go into the next planting season with a little more explanation of the rules. And then $1 million is earmarked for revenue protection insurance for hemp, which I'll be curious to see once anybody actually starts allowing people to insure their hemp crops. They say it is allowed, but let's wait and see until somebody actually does
we'll take
it.
your money for the policy, but we're going to find all kinds of cool loopholes just like every other insurance company and figure out how we can screw you.
After the flooding that we had last year too, you've got to think regions that are like Nebraska and the surrounding areas that had so much flooding, or California that was on fire for 10 months out of the year, if that would actually be something they'd cover, because you've got to figure that's a really high risk market as well as area.
Right. So there's widespread recognition, including from the head of NIDA, that the Schedule I status of marijuana has inhibited studies into the plant's effects. Another passage encourages the NIDA to consider additional investment into studying the medicinal benefits and toxicology of cannabidiol and cannabigerol. So that's CBD and CBG. Little research has been done to date on natural products that are used by many to treat pain in place of opioids. These natural plants and substances include kratom and cannabidiol, the provision says. The agreement recommends no less than $1 million for this research. Oh, you already... Yeah. I'm stepping on Eric's toes here. Look at me.
See, we switched it. We thought that would be edgy and fun, make some new content, but...
We're learning. We learn as we go. This is how we work here.
Yeah, I mean...
So did you cover that? Separately, lawmakers have set aside nearly $16.5 million in funding to support the implementation of a domestic hemp program under the 2018 Farm Bill.
Yeah. Yep, get that research out. I'm eager to see it.
Learn.
I know, it's the silliest thing. We don't know anything about it, but we won't learn. I don't know how to do algebra, but I should have learned. All right, let's see. That's all for marijuana movement. The next one that we're going to go into is the Oregon Liquor Control Commission. This past Thursday, they put a ban on manufacturing and selling any alcohol that's been mixed with CBD, a non-psychoactive ingredient of cannabis, blah, 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 that has medical quantities. I mean, that's not super surprising. It is for Oregon, just being the kind of state that it is, and that, CBD and weed are huge there.
Right, they're pretty progressive.
But at the same time, obviously, until the FDA gets it together, I would see any state siding with the FDA and not selling something that's pre-mixed. An easy workaround to that would just be, giving somebody the option to add CBD into their own food and beverages from an FDA standpoint, as long as you're not selling it done that way. There's, it's that gray area, but it would work.
Well, and they actually mention in here that it's still okay for them to do cocktails. That's kind of the loophole right now. But as far as doing a pre-bottled alcohol beverage, now they can still do pre-bottled beverages that don't include alcohol, I guess, but not anything containing alcohol.
Yeah, and that's just weird because, you got to think CBD water, sodas, everything anymore. Coffee, tea, any drinks, they have CBD. So, I don't get why you'd have a ban going both ways where, like, cocktails would work, but a beer wouldn't. And, people, they've told this bartender there at a bar that she works at, they like the beer. It's helpful for them for, muscle pain, any other injuries that they have. And if they really believe it helps them, then why take it away?
Exactly. But, especially when alcohol and tobacco get involved, those things are governed by a whole lot of different organizations than what normal consumables are. So it gets into different territories, and these territories haven't been explored by they haven't really explored CBD yet.
Yeah, and Oregon kind of went back on their word because in 2015 the state legislature said that hemp and marijuana could legally be added to foods. So if you've done it for 4 years, why is now CBD a problem if it's been able to be in food and drinks up until then? So I don't understand that. It's such a backwards way. If you've done it for 4 years, what's the problem now? Or to say you can do it in sodas and cocktails but not in a beer. It's just it's weird why you omit that one from it. Because having CBD in vodka couldn't be any better for you than having CBD in a Bud Light. You know what I mean? There's not a huge change.
Definitely. But they said grocery stores are still licensees to sell alcohol. They're not going to go after their general CBD products. They're just going to be looking at those that interfere with alcohol.
Yeah, just following the FDA. That's all they ever do. What's next? The next one that we'll go on to will be Amazon. It's an article about Amazon from the Washington Post, which Mike actually knows. I didn't. It's kind of surprising that they would publish this since Amazon owns the Washington Post.
But it's not really like negativity per se towards Amazon. It's just kind of showing how Amazon is missing some things right now.
Yeah, and it's strange though because they say, that Amazon isn't allowing the sale of CBD, but there's tons of CBD products that are there. They just don't list CBD as an ingredient. But if you know what you're looking for, then it's still easy to find. We've had people, though, over the last few months that have bought quote-unquote CBD from Amazon, which they're like, well, CBD doesn't work. Here, this is what I take. Or we had the lady that had the allergic reaction to it.
Right.
That all came from Amazon. But when you actually, sit down and look at these bottles that they think they're buying CBD, it's hemp. There is no CBD. There's no measurement of CBD.
See, that's even more gray area where people don't necessarily understand the difference between a pure hemp oil and a CBD oil. They come from the same plant, but they're not the same thing.
Yeah, hemp's a great, as a source of protein and building
you can
materials.
buy hemp seed oil at pretty much any health food store, Whole Foods, Fresh Thyme, all that stuff, but it's not going to contain any sort of CBD or any cannabinoids, really.
Yeah, exactly. So I understand why, Amazon would want to stay away in the meantime, but at the same time, by banning it, then it's kind of like bait and switch where you're tricking people into thinking they're buying CBD when they're only just buying hemp.
Right.
Or you also get into that area if they don't figure out a better solution, somebody that's buying CBD and not knowing that it is CBD, because CBD, we do know, will interact with some medications.
Yeah.
A lot of people that are on blood thinners, their doctors tell them to avoid.
Yeah, you want to be careful with the heart medications specifically.
Yeah, their doctors will tell them to avoid it. So if these companies are skirting around and not listing CBD, one, people may be taking it and not wanting to, which could,
Right. Well, that's one thing that kills me is, how is this not, somebody's got to be looking at legal action on this because that's got to be false advertisement. Because one of the FDA's things is that you have to specifically tell these people what ingredient is in that product and what amount and stuff like that. Like,
they'll list it on the product itself, though.
so it's on the product, but not in the description.
Yes,
but then again, is that false advertising?
True.
Because you advertised that this was this oil, you didn't tell me that it included this other component.
Yeah, same with gummies. And then, I worry about somebody that's like on papers,
Right.
like somebody not realizing it, or if you get like an older person or somebody that doesn't, have the same mental capacity as someone else, and they're taking this, and then or they get fired from their job, or they're going through CPS. There's so many things where that could cause you more problems, and you genuinely could just think, I'm taking these gummies that claim they help me sleep, and not realizing, I'm taking 40 milligrams of CBD twice a day.
Right. So they said that to keep products off of its site, Amazon says that it deploys an advanced algorithm designed to sniff out descriptions that could hint at the banned ingredient. So if you got CBD in your name or description, it's just like an auto ban. Or not auto ban, but it blocks the product. And like eBay actually does the same thing, because there's people on eBay that get CBD through, but usually like they break up the word CBD, like they'll have dashes in between it or asterisks in between it, or it says like CBD1 or something like that. They're slipping it through, and they're getting some sales, but they're having to generate new accounts daily, and it makes it even harder because PayPal, eBay's back-end payment processor, doesn't want anything to do with CBD. So then if they do get caught doing this, PayPal can easily just put a hold on the funds.
Yeah, so if you search Amazon, one of the first ones that pops up is Your Teddy. It's hemp gummies. It doesn't say CBD, but it claims that there's 40 milligrams of who knows what inside of it.
What?
So clearly you're referencing CBD if you're going to say it's 40 milligrams, because it's not how you'd measure out hemp.
Right.
And then they also add things that you see with a lot of lower quality CBD brands: remove stress, lift your mood, reduce anxiety,
Right.
ease pain, calm strained muscles, promote health, brain health. So like that would be,
And those are all false medical claims.
exactly, increase your focus, like
Right. There's like 12 companies getting sued for that right now.
and like, so like, okay, that's obviously, that would be a CBD item, but I mean obviously their algorithm isn't working, because they just are calling it hemp and putting a milligram on the front of it.
And see, they can get away with hemp because, just like we just said, you have hemp seed oil and what's that stuff? The hemp, the actual seeds. So like you can get the seeds and they're like de-shelled, and you can add them to like smoothies or salads and stuff, and they're a good source of protein and amino acids and a few other things, vitamins and stuff. Fiber.
Yeah, still low, low CBD and something like that, but the hemp parts, people like them for that protein aspect.
Hemp parts. So the last part we'll touch on here is Amazon declined to say why it forbids the sale of CBD. Other than that, it can decide what to sell just like any other retailer. CBD is still controversial, and its legal situation is murky, with some federal agencies, states, localities preventing its sales.
Yeah, that's it's a silly one. I mean, Amazon sells everything. What can you not?
Everything.
You get fake Ray-Bans off Amazon if you order.
Right, and it's amazing that that's okay, because I mean, I'm sure that's just as hard of a problem for them, because I don't constantly see it, but I've seen documentaries and specials and stuff about them. I want to say it's customs that does these raids on these warehouses in like LA and New York, where people are importing bootlegged goods from China and stuff, and they just have warehouses full of fake purses and sunglasses and whatever shoes you can imagine.
Yeah, a good one that if you want to like see just how easy it is, and I mean also with Amazon itself, I looked at it earlier in the week just in doing research for the podcast, like we always do, just what's out there. A good series that's on Netflix is Broken. The first one, it touches more, like you said, with these raids. If you watch Makeup Mayhem and you see just tons of counterfeit cosmetics and counterfeit stuff. The second one was on vaping. That was a big one on vape and the problems in Juul specifically. And, they showed the CEOs of Juul spoke and why they felt they didn't target to minors. But the biggest thing I learned from the series is that Amazon, their reviews aren't shit. the reviews are fake. I never, I'm someone that always,
fake reviews is a big business right now.
I like to look at reviews and say, hey, this is, oh, look, it's got 100 reviews. Everybody says it's great. And then,
right.
I was naive to the fact they say, you leave a bad review, this company's going to reach out to you. They're going to say, hey, let's, take your review down. I'll give you 70% of your money back. Keep the product. A win's a win.
Right.
I had no fucking idea. That's why I haven't bought my treadmill yet, because I'm like, damn, every review is good, but I wonder if it's really just a shitty treadmill and everybody's getting paid off to say, this is great, this is great.
Well, there's also just companies dedicated to just like getting fake social media followers and stuff like that. Like, fake reviews is big business because they know, just like you just said, like, Americans, especially right now when they're shopping based on reviews.
That's me 100%. I'm all for reading reviews, and then I learn that they're fake, and I'm like, oh. But yeah, check out Damaged on Netflix. It explains it to you.
Didn't you just say Broken?
Broken.
I mean, it's the same word. But, I don't think a synonym is going to get you where you want to go.
It is broken. I don't know why I keep calling it damaged. Maybe because I'm damaged. Who knows?
Shit.
But it goes into a big one. If you really are, someone that doesn't understand vaping and the big problem we've had over the last 6 months with vapes, look at Broken, look at theirs on vape. It explains the Juul, what the Juul is, the weed pods, how it all kind of came about, and that'll actually point you on the right way. It was a really good episode. I watched it twice just because I've never seen a lot of the backlash of what Juul had when they started, but it'll kind of explain it to you. It also tells you not to trust Amazon, so fuck Amazon. I'm gonna still use it though.
I'm gonna still use it. I'm still a Prime member.
I'm gonna keep ordering 2 cases of water every week, but fuck Amazon too.
All right, let's go to that last one.
CBD store owner accused of scamming hemp farmers pleads not guilty. This is an article from a smaller news site. I've never heard of them before, VT Digger. It's news in pursuit of the truth. So pretty much what this dude did was, hey, give me your product. Once I sell it, I'll pay you back. The problem that all of these people have had is that he is not paying anybody back for anything that they've had, which I get. Like, I would never want to do that, like a contingency plan. I'd rather just buy it, sell it, and make money. But he's accused of contracting with farmers and not paying for their services. Thursday, Bell was charged with a bad check and false pretenses counts, to which he pleaded not guilty. The hardest thing about him that they're going for would be theft of services, which, I get, but there's not a whole lot of evidence when you come into a situation like this where have such a gray area and there's not a whole lot of it. How do you say, oh, that's theft of services? Nobody really knows what these services are. They arrested the dude on $100,000 bail. I feel bad for the farms. They probably...
That's the part that annoys me most about this one is this industry, because it's kind of like the gold rush right now of our generation. It has attracted a lot of scam artists and cheaters, and they operate at every level. So whether that's people buying from a farm, or it's people that are selling you a product and they're faking the lab results, or they're supposed to be packaging products for you and they're putting in bad product. Like, there's just so many facets to this business, and there's cheaters at every level. But in my opinion, this is about the shittiest level to cheat on is the farmer. Like, that's their full bread and butter. Like, that's how they live. And in a sense, like, they put in the most work in the industry, and they end up getting fucked the hardest.
Yeah, I mean, CBD is a natural item. It's not made in a lab, so you don't have a million... Well, some of it is. That's a different podcast.
Well, post-processing, but again, the farmer is the top level.
That's where it comes from. So I'm like, it's not like you can just say there's a million people in the world that are just making it all day long, and just having CBD there. Somebody has to really take their time to go through the growing process of that and, shell out a ton of money, I'm sure, between what are seeds. They said let seeds range anywhere from $1 to $5 a seed almost. So they put out all this money for this dude to take, $500,000 from all these farms. That's just, it's just a fucked up thing to do to anybody, especially somebody where hemp hasn't been what it's been now in the past. Those people, they're probably hurting for that money. They really expected, like, oh, we're going to do this, and this dude just pretty much...
Because a lot of them went all in. Like, these guys are coming from farming, soybean, corn, cotton, whatever, to, somebody sold them a dream and told them that they could grow hemp and make $1 million off their field instead of $250K, and they're like, okay, yeah, let's do this.
Yeah, and it's just...
And, yeah, they just get cheated.
Like, you got to put this dude at the very bottom of the barrel, like people that are out here stealing hemp plants because they think they're weed. Like, you're no better than a kid pulling up and taking 5 or 6 plants, but the volume as to which you did it makes it a lot worse.
Definitely. So they said the high bail was determined by concerns that Bell may flee the state if released. When police took him into custody, they found a packaged bag in his car. Thibault told Morrissey, indicating Bell may have planned to leave the state. I'm not sure how you said Thibault said Bell also has associates in Maine, a bank account in Maine, and has visited the state recently, and also indicating he had a place to flee. Multiple farmers and CBD suppliers told VT Digger earlier this month that Bell had not paid them what they were owed. Shitty guy.
Yeah, shit guy. I hope they get it all back. I hope they take his bank accounts, go to prison. That's got to be grand theft at that point. Once you start hitting, losses of $500,000, that's got... Hopefully you get a felony for that and go to prison, because fuck you, dude.
All right.
Fucked up.
It is. That's all we got this week. Leave us some feedback. Let us know. I think Eric did better at leading the show.
I definitely disagree with that one, but you know what? We'll leave it to OOMF. One of my followers out there, stand up for me. I have one that listens every week, so you'll be the deciding vote.
There was a lot less uhs this time. We had a little blank space on that first one, but you recovered, man.
Yeah, I mean, fuck Apple, too, because I don't know where it went. It just disappeared. So we'll see you next week. Have a good afternoon.
Thanks, guys.